Hey folks, it's Eden. I am back with another sketchbook tour. You may have caught my last one. I will link that if you would like to watch it. But yeah, I got a really good reaction to that video. I was very pleasantly surprised by how many views it got, all things considered. And I finished this sketchbook, I think, in the fall or maybe the winter. We'll find out when I look at it. And I have since finished another one, so we're kind of just catching up now. The current one I'm doing, we're about halfway through. But yeah, we will go through this one, and you guys can see what I'm up to. I've definitely improved a lot, not only since the previous sketchbook video. I mean, obviously I improved throughout that sketchbook. I think my skills have definitely improved significantly since even this one was completed. I've been trying to draw every day if I can. I recently graduated and have been working a full-time job, so it's been harder, but yeah. So yeah, you can see here this was 2021. Got a good amount of stickers on here. This was definitely, I started doing this a little, some puffy stickers too, which are fun. I started this last sketchbook where I added stickers and tape and stuff like that, to kind of make it more lighthearted and fun. So yeah, there's definitely some pages like this where there's not a whole lot of content created by me. But yeah, anyway, moving into the actual content. So you'll see a couple pages like this where this is actually clearly not the paper the sketchbook came with. I actually bought some construction paper, did the illustration on here, and then adhered it in, probably with tombow adhesive. I did this a couple times too, where I would trim the edges of the page, stuff like that. This was with zebra mildliners, which actually looked really good on the colored paper. I think that will be something I'd love to try again. Here we've got some doodles actually inspired by this cute little tape. And then kind of later on, you can't tell, but this is also a later adhered edition. This is something I did a lot last sketchbook, as you may remember, where the paper is for markers and such. So I would do an illustration on nicer paper and then stick it in later on. I think this background is also mildliner. This one, I remember doing this drawing on an enormous sheet of tracing paper because I was trying to see how well tracing paper would hold up with markers. It was fine. It has kind of this interesting diffused look. It's part of that's just the blue, but it looks much more kind of watery than on Bristol. Which this one is also Copics. This one was on, I believe, Deleter manga paper, which I started using a lot because I got a big pack of it. And then, yeah, again, this is something I cut out, pasted onto the blue construction paper, and then adhered that. So this is a pretty thick page, but I mean, I think it looks great. This began as a drawing of Hatsune Miku. I don't know if it's quite recognizable as her anymore, but for a while I really liked that idea of a punk Miku or a rocker Miku or something like that. And then this is Mercy from Overwatch. Here we've got kind of this dizzying tape moment. This was also on that same enormous sheet of tracing paper as with this one. But as you can see, I kind of got a little more used to it. I used markers. I've been using them pretty much as my main medium recently. So it's been kind of a learning experience, and as you can tell, this is fine, it's okay. But as we go on, you'll definitely see me get more comfortable with using the white of the paper as opposed to later white highlights. You'll see me get better at skin, all that kind of thing. This was just me being silly at work. I think this was actually this was from a memo pad we had at the cash register at my previous job. I worked at my previous job the stationery store through all of this sketchbook and all of the next one. I only recently got a new job, but yeah, this was the kind of thing I just worked on while standing at the register. Just some stupid little doodles. I don't have a nose, like, obviously. And then the kind of overlapping stickers. This was kind of fun, where I actually cut out along the border of these stickers to do that. This was a Posca experiment. You may remember from last sketchbook video. Poscas in this specific sketchbook on this specific paper are kind of a gamble. But this turned out fine, I think. This was a much finer tipped Posca, and so it actually went well. And then I'm not sure how well the camera is seeing this, but this is actually one of the like metallic or like glitter Poscas. And I think it looks really cool, honestly. And then here was just a silly little drawing of a D&D character. This was with tombow markers, and then hopefully it focuses in here. I actually was using, with my Copics, I figured out that the gel pens I like, the Zebra Sarasa gel pens, that they actually do not smudge at all with Copics, which was an awesome revelation, because I've never been a fan of like fiber tipped liners like the microns or anything. That's actually one of my personal hot takes, I suppose, is that microns are kind of overrated due to just like how easily they break, the color payoff. I could do a whole other video on that, but anyway, I was very pleasantly surprised that the Sarasa markers worked so well with the Sarasa pens worked so well with Copic markers, so that's something we'll see a lot of. This was definitely on that deleter paper, more Copics. Again, like I mentioned before, like this is like a highlight I added later on, but more recently I've been trying to think about the luminosity of the paper and think about how that can shine through instead of retroactively lighting stuff. And then this is probably mildliner. These are actually two separate pieces of cut paper, so I definitely did a lot of layering, which was fun, honestly. I think I should go back to doing that more. Here is another Overwatch character. This is Diva. This was Widowmaker from Overwatch. I'm trying to remember, when was this sketchbook? Hold on. Okay, April through July. So yeah, I was absolutely still playing a lot of Overwatch back then. As I'm making this video, today's the last day of the second beta of Overwatch 2, which I've been kind of participating in, sort of. It's alright. I think we'll have to wait and see how the franchise goes once the real thing is released. But yeah, anyway, this is a Diva. Again, we can see an example of me using that white gel pen. It's interesting with the Signo gel pen because sometimes, depending on, it almost feels like the media I use underneath it matters, because here it dried like as a very, very light brown. Like it was almost kind of, it absorbed the pigment of the Copics. But in other instances, it dries very bright white. And lately, when I've been using these pens, which I still use over any other ones just because they are the most opaque, I've actually been going in and doing a couple coats if I want it to be a bright white. But I've also learned that since this happens, I can use this to my advantage, and sometimes I'll also like blur it out like with my fingers, so then I can get kind of a highlight. So we'll see that in some of my later sketchbooks. Anyway, Diva Overwatch. More of Quora, the D&D character, more just goofy little stickers. My sticker collection has grown significantly since I started doing this kind of thing, because not only have I always loved stickers, now I can like justify it, you know. Now I'm like, okay, they're gonna go in my sketchbook. So I have procured an inordinate amount of stickers, so be prepared for lots of that. Maybe I'll actually show off my collection sometime, I don't know. As you guys know, as you guys have probably been able to tell, I really like blue, I really like green. I've used a lot of pink in this sketchbook. I kind of go through pink phases, but I've never really been a big fan of neutrals or of oranges. So every now and then I'll be like, what colors am I missing? Oh shit, I haven't done any brown, or I haven't done anything neutral. So I did that kind of thing here. And I think it matches really well with these kind of vintage looking mushroom stickers. I actually put down this sticker first, the Lazy Day, and I thought that looks kind of brown. And then, you know, I rifle through my stickers and I put these, I I've actually started doing this more in my most recent sketchbooks, but I will actually like set up a couple pages, like I'll put out stickers and tape and stuff, and then I'll have 6 or 7 pages ready to go. And then while I'm out and about, or while I'm sitting at home or whatever, then I'll flip through and find one that like fits my mood, and then I'll draw the image. And that has been really good for me, because I'm sure a lot of you artists understand, and just people in general, like it's so intimidating to have a blank page and just to see all of it, and you're like, well, what do I do with this? So kind of blocking off sections that are like already dealt with has been great, because then I know where I can put my image. Anyway, we got a couple little goofy moments here. There's only one sticker on this one, actually. This is a good example of me having just one sticker, and then I like make this whole narrative around it. Like I spontaneously created this incredibly sad cloud, and then this incredibly overly optimistic raindrop character. He suffers, but he cannot understand why. He can't read. He's just a raindrop, and yet he still is happy, and I think that's great. Again, I don't love neutral colors. Looking back on this, I'm not particularly happy with how it turned out. I think this was starting a phase where I've been trying to not sketch first. I talked about this a little bit last time, but I really hate sketching. It just makes me so frustrated, because I feel like I just want to skip straight to the line art. That's my favorite part, is the line art. So I started doing this thing where I try to just go in with a pen, no sketch, and just draw. And it's been really good for me. I've been able to better conceptualize stuff in my head, and I've been able to improve my hand-eye coordination and all this stuff. But you can see sometimes a good way to tell if I had a sketch or not, I guess, is there'll be stuff like this where it all overlaps, or like I decided later that I wanted her to have a hat, like that kind of thing. But overall, I'm really glad I've been doing that, because I think that's improved my skills a lot. More just goofiness. It's hard work being a box, so true. I think this is something I would like to get back to a little bit more, just being goofy and being silly and just saying shit. Just like thinking of some dumb little line and drawing a speech bubble and then making it. I think as my technical skill has been getting closer to where I would like it to be, it almost feels like, these sketchbooks started out as a way for me to be goofy and to do stuff like this, where I just like make shit up. I just am off the wall. And I think as I've improved, like I said, it's been harder to want to do stuff like this, because I want to do these intricate illustrations. So I'll try to mix it up a bit. Okay, we got some gold pen here. This is actually an amazing pen. I highly recommend it to folks. It's the Pentel Sparkle Pop. These pens are super cool because you can kind of see it here, not really. It's more prevalent on toned paper, but it will actually show up as a different kind of glitter on a different colored background. Like I said, it's not super obvious on this one, but like there's a black glitter one that's amazing. It looks almost like an oil slick black, but if you put it, for example, on black paper, it turns green, like greenish purple. It's so beautiful. So I recommend those. Experimenting more with some like shapes, some just to fill in the space. This one was really fun. Again, more Overwatch characters. I don't know what was up with me. Got some cats. Yeah. I thought this was funny. I was like, okay, I'm gonna draw some super ominous spirals. This is a shape I used to love drawing, like in high school, back when I was first like having to keep a sketchbook for class, and I would just draw like, one little face in the corner. This is something I still try not to do, but I still do sometimes. And then I'm like, okay, what do I do with the rest of the page? So then I would draw these huge spirals, but then I was like, but what if there were like stupid little animals? Like what if they were like cute and goofy little guys? So I think I did this with probably just a tombow marker and a mildliner, and honestly, like I think that bird's pretty good, honestly. I actually have recently purchased a book about how to draw birds, so keep an eye out for that, but I really like this one. This was with a non-photo blue pencil. honestly probably the evil color erase pencil. You guys know from last time how my journey with color erase pencils has not been a smooth one. But I really love the colors of this origami paper, and I think I was able to do a good job with like the strategic stickers. That's supposed to be a self-portrait. My hair does not actually look like that though. At work, at the stationery store, we got these little like squishy like figurines, kind of like rubber ducks, but they're animals. So there's a bear, and there was a, I want to say a kappa, I think. He's like a little Japanese like demon spirit or something, and they have like this flower on their head. I'm sure I'm getting that wrong, pardon me, but it was a very cute little guy. And then some big ass pencil. This is such a pretty color combo. I should do that more. This is mildliner here, and then tombow. This is just more stupid. This here is that sparkle pop, so you can see it's actually pretty glittery. I don't know if the camera's catching it. And then this was another attempt with the Poscas, and this one actually went pretty well. I think I figured out that I have to be slower with it than I was being, but there's like barely any pilling here, which is awesome. And then the rest of that's Pentel pocket brush pen. Here was a design for a D&D character I never ended up playing, but I think she's cool. Just kind of messing around. You can see here that kind of the start of me figuring out, oh, I can let the paper go through. Obviously there's the white pen here, but you can kind of see that. Here's another, yeah, here's the sparkle pop. So this is actually the blue, but it's over black. I actually made this whole thing black, and I was like, I want it to be sparkly. But you can see it's almost like a greenish blue as opposed to a bright blue. This was, I bought a big old pack of mildliners and I was just watching them. Not very interesting. This is also more when I got into more Genshin Impact, so you're going to see that my focus kind of shifts away from Overwatch and more towards this. This is a character official. This was an attempt at drawing a self-portrait of myself and a self-portrait of my then boyfriend, now fiance, got engaged. And you can see I definitely used the white gel pen kind of as a correction fluid, but I think it worked well, because it's really kind of hard to see unless you look real close, like at the top here. But that's something I've continued to do. And you can notice, you know, the only way to get it to be that opaque and white is to do a couple coats. And then this is just a really pretty color of mildliner. Oh god, okay, so this actually started out, I think, as a pretty good drawing, but I ran into the unfortunate situation of when I was doing this on the next page, I did not put a page here. And so this black ink here kind of just like transferred to her face, which is unfortunate because I think it looked really good, but now the skin kind of has this like nasty like smudges on it, so it really kind of ruins the drawing, but oh well. This was Jean from Genshin, and then some more squirrels. This was a unnamed D&D character. This is not the sparkle pop here. I think this was actually the gold Posca, which I was really disappointed with personally. They're not that metallic, and they kind of have this odd, like, I don't know if I want to call it like bloom, but like there's this odd thing where it doesn't give you an even coat. It like piles up and looks more white, and I really don't like it. So I will not be buying any more metallic Poscas, but yeah, I think this one's a really cute drawing. I actually like this character design a lot. I'll have to go back to it. This was also on that work pad, as you can see, the cash register memo pad, just being silly, using more origami paper here. This was, we're getting close to the end, I promise. I think this is maybe the last page, actually. Yeah. Some more stickers. I actually have repurchased this sticker pack from Uli, the brand Uli. I've repurchased this exact set of stickers like multiple times just because I like them so much. I highly recommend their stuff. They make a lot of really cute, like, kids art supplies, but a lot of it's really high quality and very usable. And then this is some amazing, like, alchemist tape from the artist Paolus Pixels. I will try going forwards to link in the description, and then I will also try to link, like, to mention when I'm showing it, but I have a lot of washi and stickers from some really amazing artists, and I was initially kind of worried about using that stuff in my sketchbook because, you know, I didn't make it, so I'll try to call out who makes what when I show it. And then, yeah, another illustration of Cora. This was when I found my Prismacolor. This sounds so silly, but my Prismacolors were like squirreled away in like a big zip pouch, and I found it at my mom's house. I've been living in a couple different places over the past couple years, so I've never really like settled down completely. And I was like, I wonder where my Prismacolors are. And then, lo and behold, they're at my mom's house. So I was kind of messing around with those and getting back into the groove of it. And going forward, I actually have been using them with copics, and that's been a really fun time. This is just dumb. This is just silly. I got this multi-pen that had red, black, and blue in it. And so I was doing a little bit of that. Okay, and then as we can see here, I got this done actually pretty fast, all things considered. The subsequent one, my mint colored sketchbook, which I will try and find and do a video on soon. I don't know where it is, which is kind of concerning. That one took me significantly longer. I think that one took me like from right after this, so like early August, it took me through, what is it now, July? It took me through probably like March or April. And not just because that one had so many freaking pages. That thing was way too many pages. Anyway, more details. This was once again the Handbook Journal Co. Maybe it says, it does not. Handbook Journal Co. Now owned by Speedball. No longer made in Kansas City. Womp womp. Still a very good sketchbook. Love the square size. I have not done another square sketchbook since this one. This is, like I said, the same exact as this. And I thought about just doing all of this same notebook, but like I said, the paper's just not worth it. So, at least not for markers, which is what I use. So my next sketchbook, again, I'll make a video soon, but that one, the paper was also horrendous. So I ended up switching. Long term, I am now using a Midori notebook, which is not necessarily intended as a sketchbook, but it works really well. Anyway, that's for another time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble about all this stuff, and hopefully y'all will tune in to another video. Yeah, we'll see. Let me know in the comments if any of you guys have any interest. Like I said, I have a lot of hot takes, per se, on, you know, art supplies and all that kind of thing. So let me know what kind of videos you guys would like to see. I'm still really new to this whole video, YouTube, internet thing. But I have a lot more structure to my life now that I have a full-time job and I know my schedule. So just let me know what y'all would like to see and I'll get on it. Thanks again. Bye.